The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Queen's Gambit, the Mage chapter of things. I am your storyteller, the Ravenous Archon, and before we get into our portion of it, let's have everybody introduce themselves and their tradition.
Hi, I am Tiss, and I will be playing Lydia Crane of the Euthanatoy.
I'm Irian, and I am playing Silas Lilly, the Order of Hermes.
I am KoFi, and I am playing Carissa Elton of the Ravenna.
Hi, I'm Mischievous Red, and I'm playing Cammy Elton of the Cult of Ecstasy.
All right, and we're going to open up in a rooftop bar called the Double Crown. It is called the Double Crown because at the not urgence or suggestion, but Jacqueline Durand did tell Franklin Crown that he would have better luck reading people if they were in a bar setting than they would be coming to a therapist. It has worked wonders for him, and he is much better off now than he was before. But it is currently set up for the 30th anniversary of the movie Stargate. It is wall-to-wall posters, accoutrement, little glass, whatever they're called, to prevent them from sweating on the tables. Coasters, thank you. Mental stress from the week are all shaped like the Stargate itself. And out on the balcony, there is a life-size replica of the Stargate set up. The first one to the elevator is going to be Lydia. Lydia, as you're walking up, the last bit of a classic 70s song, maybe The Joker, is playing, and as you get into the elevator, Don't Fear the Reaper by Blue Oyster Cult starts. The classic guitar intro. It's soft because it's an elevator, but it's still very, very prominent. What does Lydia look like?
Lydia is, well, she is a woman in her mid-30s, dark hair, currently dressed, probably the fashion style could be called a little bit goth. But it's smart casual. She's not dressed up too much for this. She's not entirely sure what it is she's dressed up for. But it's clearly an important occasion, so it's got three, black jeans, nice top, probably quite a black blazer probably on as well. Actually, she'd be going for so
Nice.
early meetings and greetings to make a good impression. So,
Since you're the first one up, you'll notice the crowd is all gathered inside one of the walls has been turned into a movie screen, and they've projected the movie onto it. All the monitors, like all the TV screens behind the bar that normally would be showing sports, are all showing the same thing. They're all synced up. Behind the bar, you will notice two of the members of the council of mages of the city, the cultist of ecstasy, Joanna Brewster, and the verbena, Octavio Fuentes. They're both kind of bartending, and you can see and feel, because you have Prime, right?
I have 2, I think, in Prime.
Yeah. With one, you could feel them pulling on a tellurian. They're doing something to the drinks as they're mixing it. Coming up next on the elevator, would Clarissa wait for Cammy, or would Clarissa come up on her own?
She'd come up on her own.
Nope.
She looks like me. Very witchy, crazy brown hair, lots of jewelry on, a gown that looks handmade, about 35. And what is her music? I'm excited to know what my elevator song is.
As you come into the elevator, nobody's getting off, nobody's getting on with you. But the last little bit of what sounds like Huey Lewis fades out as the classic Love is a Battlefield by Pat Benatar comes up and just takes you into the first chorus. As you come out of the elevator, you see the same thing. There's a good crowd. You don't know if this is specifically for the event, but you do recognize some of the people in the council of Awakened. The other cultist and the verbena are behind the bar, like I said. Over by the Stargate itself, frantically moving around, you will see the Society of Ether member, Hannah Reynolds, and the virtual adept, Alexandra Weaver, who they call Ripley. They're moving back and forth, adjusting things. Ripley's got a little iPad that she is furiously typing away at. There's a strange gentleman that's kind of off to the side, just holding this branch, it looks like, but it's got little leather thong of a bandage around it. It looks like it's got something etched into it, but he's kind of standing off to the side and just looking at this with a sense of wonder and a sense of deconstruction. Like he's trying to figure out, it almost looks like he's trying to figure out how to reconstruct this for himself.
Okay.
Silas, as you come up on the elevator, the last little bit of Adam Ant's Goody Two Shoes is playing. Just catch the last little bit, but as the first floor dings and you're climbing up the elevator, you'll hear that very classic, very driven synth of Journey's Separate Ways. You'll come up, you'll see the same thing, just this bar atmosphere. Franklin is off to the side talking to a young woman, meek looking glasses, like big Coca-Cola glasses, the bangs, ponytail. He's wearing a long kind of multicolored scarf, very reminiscent of Doctor Who. Like it is, if she's not careful, you can see her tripping over herself. But you see that there are other members of the council up there as well. You also see that Lydia and Carissa have both arrived. And they're off to the side. you've all met each other already. You've had a couple of days in the city to kind of get to know each other and see what each other brings to the table. How late is Cammy going to be coming up?
She's probably actually not that late.
Okay.
Like she knows her sister takes it kind of seriously, and she doesn't want to like make her sister look too bad.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like a couple of minutes because the accidental lost track of time.
For a mage with time, that is the best situation to be in.
Oh yeah.
The elevator doors open. A couple gets out, kind of bobbing their head, and the moment you come inside, you are right at the first chorus of Scandal's The Warrior. You come up, you see the scene set before you, and once everybody's there, Franklin will come over with a young woman that is by his side. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for the punctuality. We're just getting to the point where they're about to open the actual Stargate in the movie. I don't know if you're familiar with this film. I had to see it when it was breached to me that this was going to happen. This is Rebecca Sanders. She's with the Arcanum. I invited her here so she could witness the situation. And in return, she has warned us that some of the more militant members of her order are unhappy with what we're going to do here, regardless of the end goal. So be aware that things might get rough in a little bit. I've been told by Miss Reynolds that we should not use any of our abilities near the gate itself. So try to keep anything that you're doing within the bounds of the ball proper. The other council members working behind the ball have helped to minimize anything that the sleepers might remember. And our friend, who would like to be known as Samuel Flatley, he's the one with the branch. I believe he's called a Thurge or a Thurug, something that the Lupines have. But he's the one that has brought us the key to punching a hole into the Far Umbra. So, if you want, get something to drink. Feel free to order something to eat. Keep your eyes open for anything strange. And he looks over at the Stargate. Strange for here inside.
Strange? How Franklin, precisely how does one measure strange in a room full of mages?
Miss Crane, we're not all awakened in the room. There are several sleepers. Most awakened wouldn't pay for this kind of event. No offense to any fans of the movie.
I've never seen it.
I feel like it's a type of thing where you'll know it when you see it.
I mean, it's not terrible by standards, most standards, but not my cup of tea. I will leave Rebecca in your care. She can point out any of the members that she has met in her order. And worst case scenario, Samuel has offered at great pain to himself to assume his war form so that the sleepers here can run off in a panic. So, worst case, maybe help usher them to the stairs so that nobody gets trampled.
Have you considered a fire alarm?
This is
Sorry,
no,
it's not my place to.
no. It would be a good idea if this was not Milwaukee. I've come to learn that not everything is right here.
No, well, I must confess, I've only been in Milwaukee 2 days, 3 days, time zones.
Great.
Yes, not long enough to know what's weird and what's normal here.
You can barely see the university from here, so if you squint and force yourself to see in the sphere of Prime, you can see just how much the null zone pulses. It's eerie at first, but you get used to the undulations. It's almost like a miasma. But once Hannah is ready, I'll come get you and we can see about getting this totem back. Oh, he reaches into a satchel and pulls out this thick book. I had a copy made. The Lady of Death gave this to us herself. I've taken out any of the pages that were pertinent to the other supernaturals. They didn't serve a purpose to what we're doing, but I have kept in some of the more pertinent stuff for our people. Mr. Lilly, you might recognize some of the runes. They date back to old Hermetic, before the break and before the events of House Tremere and that stain on our history.
Gives you a little bit of a side eye when you say that, but he nods. Okay.
Nods to Rebecca, excuses himself, and walks off.
Orissa is going to approach her sister and loop her arm around hers and then move the two of them to Lydia, who she knows, has known for years, and loop her other arm around hers and say, let's go to the bar. Let's get some drinks. Let's relax.
But I'm not.
Trust
This
me.
is the time to be relaxing.
Do you know how to relax?
I mean, let's see if I can figure out how to relax with a couple drinks in me.
This doesn't sound like the best idea, but we'll go for it.
Not the worst idea, just one.
It'll
one
be
drink.
humorous.
Okay.
One drink. One drink.
Octavio comes over when he sees you three approaching, and just puts out 3 glasses of water.
We're having water.
Boss's orders. He says no hard liquor. He doesn't know what's going to happen to you. Have you done any preparations for what's to come?
Quite a few.
Good, because Hannah keeps talking about punching holes into the deep umbra, and if you've been on the other side, it doesn't take kindly to being punched.
Most things don't.
Exactly.
One can only prepare so much. Sometimes what will come will come.
The Joanna slides over as he kind of nods and walks away, and she pulls up 4 shots from under the bar. Hey, listen, I don't care what Franklin says. You're gonna need this if you're going into the deep room, bro.
We are. Please, my twin, my friend, we are. We're going to need this. And she downs her shot.
Yeah, it's disgusting. It's tequila, Jaeger, and Rumpelmans.
It's not good.
Interesting.
I need a chaser.
Yeah,
It's
you're
not
better
good.
off. You're better off drinking Malort than this garbage.
Amy gives a little cheers and then she'll take it too.
Rebecca kind of stands to the side. And she's just eyeballing people coming in off of the elevator. And after a gentleman comes up, she leans over. Oh, that's not good. They call him the Gladiator. If he's here, they don't want this to happen.
They,
Could we-
the Arcanum?
It's rough. There's some splintering going on. A lot of us still believe in the mission, still want to take in and catalog what happens. But there are a few of us that are tired of just being watchers, and they've been pushing back. Unfortunately, given the landscape of America right now and its lust for firearms, that splinter is growing.
Why do they call him the Gladiator?
He's not right in the head. And he has these brass knuckles that he calls, I think one of them is thoughts and the other one is prayers. And he physically takes his anger out on your kind.
That seems an incredibly foolish hobby to take up.
Yeah. And the moment that you say that, he throws his trench coat off. He's got his brass knuckles. There's literal just kind of like mud paint on him of Roman phrases that were Googled. They're not like traditional like Veritas or anything like that. It's kind of like the traditional American getting a Japanese symbol because it looks cool, but it actually stands for like pizza. But he points at Franklin and he yells out, "Crown!" and starts rushing towards him.
He looks threatening. Where's Franklin?
Yeah, he is. He doesn't have flowers in his hands.
What we know of Franklin, we believe that Franklin Crown can take care of himself, or
In a prepared fight, yeah, 100%. But given the sleepers and given that his attention is split between protecting everybody, getting the ritual off the ground, and opening this Stargate, he's not in his A game right now.
So this gladiator, he's rushing towards across this bar.
Mhm.
There's tables, chairs around.
Oh yeah, no, he's knocking things over. He's pushing people aside.
Could he quite easily trip over something as he's running across? A
He
chance.
could. Are you trying to help?
I'm trying to help him trip over and fall flat on his face. Please.
Okay. Yeah. That's a simple technique. Entropy 2. Controlling fate. There are sleepers around, so that automatically sets you at starting at difficulty 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. So you're gonna roll your arete of 4, and every 5 or higher is a success.
Okay. That's not it's a 5, an 8, and a 10. So that's
Okay. 3 successes.
3 successes.
Nice. Would you like to add anything to your effect, given that you have the one needed to accomplish it? You have 2 over that you could use to maybe force a glass into his hand, or
Just gonna, I would like him to trip over and get something to fall on top of him, just a bit more annoying than just him tripping over, I don't know, a chair or something. Just slow him down a bit, clatter, draw attention to him.
Yeah.
So much of it. Yeah.
So you'll see him rush forward, and as he pushes a lady out of the way, she yells. He kind of turns to look at her, doesn't see the man getting up out of his chair to kind of stand in his way, and they both go tumbling into a table. A piece of pie slides down and onto his face, and then an espresso martini kind of hobbles over and just comes down on him. And he's just brushing his face out of the way, which is not the best look when you have brass knuckles. He is miffed.
Is Franklin continuing away, or is he just standing watching at this point?
Seeing that the 4 of you are kind of in the same space, he's watching, but he's more concerned with the theurge that's helping them. They're currently putting the branch into the Stargate.
Does it look like what Lydia's done has been enough to stop him for a bit? Is he injured, or is he just
No, he gets
stumbled?
he gets up, he slams his fist together, and you've been around mages with a life before. This is a very similar appearance. He slams his fist together, and as he kind of grunts this angry, forceful breath, his size increases. It's almost like Bane from Batman when he gets venom in him, and he just kind of juices up. And you see that some of the veins have popped up under his skin. His eyes have gone bloodshot. There's a little froth on the corners of his mouth.
Storyteller,
Yeah.
I would like to take this frenetic opportunity and use mind to scramble his thoughts. He has food and drink on him, and it's crazy, and the music is loud, and maybe he's not going to remember that he's a big bad gladiator.
Okay. So that's... Are you trying to make him forget that he's...
No,
No?
I just want him to he can taste the espresso martini, and
Okay. So
pie
that's...
is delicious, and he might be
So it's-
worried about slipping on the floor, things
so
like
it's not,
that.
It's not mind 3, it's mind 2.
For scramble thoughts. Okay.
Yeah. Because he's already in a bad state. So we'll start it at difficulty 5.
Cammy will take advantage of the opportunity Chris is creating, but
Yeah.
So
We'll
that
resolve that first.
is an 8, a 7, an 8, a 4, and a 4. So 3 successes.
Okay. He has this moment where you see him kind of almost brushing it out, like he's fighting it, which is odd. Sleepers normally can't fight the mind sphere, and there is this moment where you see some of the mud painting on him radiates a kind of glow. I think everybody has Prime.
Yes, we do.
Oh.
Oh, I'll tell you, baby. I'll tell you telepathically.
Yeah, Cammy doesn't. But those of you with Prime 1 will see that there is not a weave. It's not a Tellurian. This wasn't done by a mage, but this is definitely hedge magic. This is not strong, but definitely not something that he should have done on his own. So the
So
silence
that will be conveyed to her sister because their telepathic link is pretty much that's how they say hi. So she conveys that to Cammy with a C.
Okay. So the Silas or Cammy want to do anything?
Yeah, so I have a quick question.
Sure.
So the stuff that you can see with Prime isn't something else. It's what caused him to get like bulked, right? Or is it like something on top of him getting bulked or unclear?
With Prime, it's only after something is affected that it becomes visible. And that's if you're looking for it. I'm giving you for free that he has something to help him fight off mind effects.
Okay. Well, so what Cammy is gonna do she's gonna take advantage of the kind of confusion that Clarissa caused, or Carissa, and she is going to run up on him. Now she's running up. She's gonna basically transform her fist into like something like metalish armor, something that would hurt to be hit with, like like hefty, like an iron fist, really, but not look like it.
You have life 3, so you can make yourself thicker. Metallic wise, I would require some matter as well, which you have.
I don't have enough. Yeah,
you have 1.
That's fine. It said armor, and so I wasn't sure.
But life 3 is easy enough to push yourself into like thicker muscles and make it hit harder.
Is that enough to reduce his musculature?
Life 3, yeah, you could.
Because I'd like to take a little bit of that away.
Oh, okay. Life 3 with sleeper, so that's gonna put you at difficulty 6 for your Arete roll, Cammy.
Okay.
And Silas, you want to lessen his musculature. And you have correspondence. You can do it at a distance. You sly bastard. So yeah, you'll be at difficulty 6 as well.
Wow, that's a botch.
Oh.
I wasn't even trying to do anything fancy.
And you are never doing anything fancy.
I know.
You're all mages, so that's gonna be life 3 is 3 paradoxes, plus 1 for sleepers, plus 2 more for the botch. You are still gonna get to punch this guy in the head.
She wasn't going for the head. She was going to go for like a gut crotch punch. I'll be honest.
Okay, yeah. So strength and brawl and dirty fighting will count for that. But you're gonna take some physical damage as you come in contact with his body. What did you get, Silas?
I got a 3, 7, 8, and 9. So 3.
Yeah. Okay, that's good that you didn't botch as well.
What's the difficulty for mine? Is it just
6? Yeah, 6.
Well, one fell out of the tray. Hold on.
Okay. It's a good thing that Silas debuffed this meaty man's.
That is 2.
2. Okay. Had he stayed as thick as he was, that would have done 2 points of damage to you. But the moment that your hand impacts him, you see him deflate. Not even deflate back to his size, like he shrinks even lower, almost like a nerd's body type. And he kind of looks down at himself, and you impact, and he vomits.
May I? Because Cammy and Carissa are very close. When Cammy gets physical, which is very Cammy,
Yeah.
Carissa would like to put him to sleep, like that punch just knocked it out of him and he passed out.
Okay. So you're using the mind and life for that?
Yes, let's just double up.
Okay. So that'll be mind 3, life 3. So difficulty will be 6.
Seven, one success. Just
one success.
7. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you see that he throws up. He takes the punch. He is surprised. It looks like he's never taken this kind of assault before. And Cammy hurt herself a little bit. We took 1 point of bashing damage. But that's more a reflex of you not affecting yourself correctly. It's not him. But the moment he throws up, he looks up like he's about to take a swing at you, and his eyes roll back, and he just kind of falls forward, face full of pie. At this point, the 2 bartenders kind of come around. All right. So police have been called. If everybody could just please kind of step to the side, take the stairs, go take the elevator, go down to the lobby, please. I'm sure they're going to want to take your reports. And those of you with mind can feel her suggestion kind of pushing through everybody. And you see a lot of them kind of like, oh, yeah, we should do our civic duty and report this. And after a few minutes, the bar is kind of cleared out. Franklin nods approvingly as he comes over. Oh, I was going to ask if you wanted an audience to see this, but I guess we'll do. He ushers you guys over, and he nods, and the Aetherite and the Virtual Adept both hit their iPads at the same time. Samuel kind of stands off to the side. You see him kind of back away protectively. He grows a little bit into his Glabro form just to be safe. But you see him kind of holding his fingers and crossing his fingers and hoping that this works. And there's this moment where the gate is spinning, just like in the movie. In the background, the movie has synced up so that everything is spinning. It is almost a thing of beauty as far as timing is concerned. And as the gate secures itself in the movie, the gate is secured in real life, and both gates simultaneously shoot out the kind of water dildo that comes out of the gate and then is sucked back into the vortex that creates that watery mirror surface. All right. This is your way in. You'll have to find your own way out. Be careful.
All right. Any advice for making the return trip?
If you can find your way to Midrealm or the Horizon City, I would recommend that. They usually have access to astral ships.
Noted.
All right. Is everyone ready?
That's what it's going to be.
No?
Lead the way.
Carissa will go in first.
Okay. It is very much the second you go through, there's a tunnel. You're shot forward and up. It would be kind of unsettling, but you don't feel the inertia of it. You don't feel the speed pushing against you. You're shot forward right up to where the church is in the center of this null zone, and then you shoot straight up like a geyser. And as you leave Earth's orbit, you start to see the small islands in the umbra of what was the Horizon Realms. You can just see this turbulent storm just ever so slightly off in the distance. Just a lightning will streak across, and you'll see what looks like this remnant of what could have been something great in the horizon. It is a graveyard of realms and places where Awakened used to congregate and share ideas or duel or, establish dominance. And you keep shooting upward. More and more of these shattered islands start to become just debris. And more of the storm seems to be prevalent out here. And it feels almost like you shoot through a cloud, and there's this sense of sadness that washes over each of you as you are pushed through the cloud. It's almost as if all the avatars that came before yours that were destroyed in the storm are just crying out. You can hear the sound of this broken choir, just different harmonies trying to find their voices and trying to find the tune. Some are ahead, some are far behind, and some are too slow, and some are too fast. And you keep going up. Earth becomes this pinprick of light in the shadows, and you can see maybe what looks to be another Earth, with its continents still fused together to the side. And you recognize that as Pangea. You see another Earth, and it looks like man has never touched it. It looks like what you heard is called the Wolf Home. And you see these Earths, all of you see these other Earths, these other umbral realms that exist simultaneously. And then it feels like you're suddenly shooting down because something is coming towards you. It is not Earth. It is not a planet. It is just something. It is amorphous. There's no boundaries to it. It stretches out and then contracts. It stretches out in one way, contracts, and you come crashing down into a pool of water. Just maybe the portal ends about 3 feet from the water surface, and you feel the cold water just hit you. And there's a moment where you all kind of find yourselves kicking up to break the surface. This feels completely different than anything you've ever felt before. You are not in the near Umbra. You're not even in the far Umbra. You're somewhere else. And as you are all landing, just the fourth splash happens, and then the water surface gets broken. The lake vanishes. You are on a hilltop. the water is gone. You're still wet. The water is gone, but you see this emaciated man in the distance running from this cloud of snapping snouts and wolf faces that reach out, try to nip at him, and sometimes they'll grab a piece of flesh and tear, and sometimes he'll fight his way off, but he stumbles. And he looks up at the four of you who are like beacons, since you are exactly that. Your avatar has manifested around you like an aura, and he reaches up his hand in your direction, his face asking for help. And this is a good point to go to break. So we'll see you guys in a few minutes. Welcome back, everyone. Before the break, we got to see the introductions to everybody. We got to see the musical cues, and we got to open up a Stargate on a Mage game, which is super fun. But now we're in the deep one, bro. And we left off with them seeing an emaciated man being chased by a cloud of wolf snouts. No legs, just this amorphous blob that would lash out in a wolf face. The gentleman looks to be either Hispanic or First Nations, kind of Native American. He is thin, barely looks like he eats, weak, and like I said, he stumbled. The thing is about to descend upon him. He has reached out for you. How would you like to help or hinder this man?
Without knowing, what exactly is going on, I mean, don't want to pick the wrong side. Is there a quick way for us to ascertain, like his state of mind?
With mind, yeah, you could try to peek into his mind.
Mm-hmm.
You could try to read his aura with Prime Sight. There's several ways to do it.
Are either of these beings spirits? If spirit sight is up, which would be something that we would turn on immediately, is this
They are.
Spirit sight is up. Okay, so they're both spirits.
They're both spirits.
Okay.
And to read his aura, you'd need
Prime 2.
Okay. I think I can reach.
Yeah,
that.
you have Prime 4. This realm also reduces difficulty to Prime checks. So it's going to start at a 2 plus 2 is 4. So difficulty 4 for you. What were you going to say, Cammy, with a K?
Yeah. Can I try and just foresee what the impact of the cloud eating him would be, or like what's going to happen with this?
Oh. Going full time on this, huh?
I figure time or entropy because like future, but
yeah.
ability, but
yeah, if you want to see, because if you want to just see what happens, that would be time. But if you want to see the repercussions, that would be entropy as well.
yeah, so I'll do both.
Okay, so it's gonna be off of your time 4. This realm affects time harshly, but it affects entropy in a kinder way. So your negative and your bonus are cancel each other out. So it's gonna be a difficulty 3 plus 4 being your highest sphere. It's gonna be difficulty 7.
So mine was difficulty 4?
Yeah, you were difficulty 4.
With 2 5s, a 6, and a 9, I guess that's 4.
Oh my god. You see, you were looking at the aura?
Mm-hmm.
The aura is muted, but it looks like it was great at one point. It has these pulses of sometimes being so bright that you have to kind of almost glare to close your eyes. And at the most times, like especially when it's getting nipped at, the aura diminishes to the point where it's barely there, almost mirroring the emaciation of his physical form.
The degradation. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, is this because we all have a telepathic link? Is this kind of given to us from Silas? These images, or
Could be.
verbalized?
He could share them since you have the link.
I would because we're all in this together.
So
Okay,
everybody,
then I'm
sees
gonna
that.
immediately attack the predator spirit.
Well, do you
So
want to
Candy,
wait until
what did you
Canby's
get?
effect? Camby got
Yeah.
2.
Oh, afterwards,
2?
yes.
Yeah.
There's a moment you can feel that this realm is pure chaos. You can't really pull on the threads of fate here because the moment you start to pull on one, it frays and becomes 5, and you scramble to try and pick the right one. And with the same token, those 5 then become 3, and there's this one solid thread later. It is frustrating, especially with the paradox sitting there in the pit of your being. If the cloud gets to him, it would not kill him, but it would devour a lot of his essence, and it would leave him almost skeletal. And you would see that he would start to rebuild himself, slowly kind of gathering essence, and the hunt would begin again. This is almost like a manifestation of Atlas and the buzzard. No, this is a punishment. It feels like,
Inevitable, in a way.
yeah. But the first wolf snout grabs him by one of his ankles and starts to pull him into the cloud. Let's roll initiative so that we have an order of effect. Initiative is going to be 1d10. And whatever you roll on the d10, add to the total of your wits and dexterity.
Okay. The D10 plus the dots we have in wits and
Yeah.
dexterity.
So the values.
So 16.
13.
12.
13 for Silas, 12 for Cam with a K, 16 for Lydia.
No, not for Lydia.
For Carissa.
Carissa. What did Lydia get?
9?
9. Okay,
It didn't roll very well.
that's fine. This is just to see who does what in what order. Okay, so Carissa, you got 16, so you kick us off.
I am going to harm the wolf predator spirit and burn a willpower. Do we have use of our personal instruments to lower the difficulty, or we're just kind of not doing that?
Here, they don't matter.
Okay.
Like you try, like you instinctively reach out for your instrument, and there's a moment where you don't feel the same connection to your arete.
Okay.
And whether that's because your avatar is next to you,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like floating around you. What is your avatar?
It's Athena, a crow spirit of Athena.
Okay. So you can physically see that your avatar is perched on your shoulder.
Okay.
And whether it is because you have now become separated from it in a sense,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still there. There's almost like this reassurance that you are the conduit.
Got it.
You can also see Cammy's avatar. What does Cammy's avatar look like?
I
for
don't
everybody?
remember. I just messaged KoFi.
It was Artemis, honey.
Yeah, wasn't it the owl then? I thought. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought, but I wasn't sure.
The owl looks beat up. Like you can see just how much paradox Cammy took by the representation of her owl.
Is there, and I don't often take familiars, so I would like to ask this as well.
Mhm.
Her familiar is a crow. Because they are twin souls and twins, does her familiar care to do anything about Cammy's paradox?
You could ask it too.
Okay, we'll do that in a minute because
Okay.
we're a little busy right now, but
Yeah.
I was just wondering.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Familial bond will supersede any kind of pact.
So my difficulty for the spirit attack.
Spirit here is neither boosted nor waned, so it's going to be flat. 2+, so difficulty 5.
Okay.
There are no sleepers here.
1-8.
Okay. It does 1 point of damage. The wolf stops, and 2 of its heads look up in your direction. The one that bit into the man's ankle still holding on, but its eyes have looked up in your direction as well. It's almost like a wolf-ish version of Cerberus. I was 16, so 13, Silas. What do you want to do?
How is he close enough that I can try to boost him a little bit, health-wise?
The man?
Mhm.
Yes and no, because you have correspondence, so you could affect him at the range. He isn't a living creature, so life
So
wouldn't
it wouldn't-
affect him.
It wouldn't. Okay, right.
Yeah. Spirit would be what you need.
Yep, don't have any of that.
Nope. But you got forces in prime. You can definitely cause some damage.
Use forces to push the cloud away.
Yeah. You just want to push. You don't want to do any damage to it.
No.
Okay. So that'll be forces 3. So that'll be difficulty 5. Needs your arity.
That's 3 successes.
Okay. Oh, Chloe, you said you used a willpower point, so you actually got 2 successes.
Thank you. Yes, you are correct.
So, no, took 2 points. You push it, and the 2 heads that aren't holding on to the man look perturbed. The one that is holding on to him lets go, and it all comes together into this one large wolf form, almost like a hispo form, like just this dire wolf of a creature, and it pads up and around the gentleman, almost like threatening the body language of "this is mine, this isn't yours." But that brings us to Cammy, 12.
So
You gonna punch it?
I don't know, because like
Introduce it to your fist.
she'll try and take, so the guy was reaching for us, she'll try and take the hand of the guy if she can and
Yeah.
pull him up and out.
Okay.
Just like yeet him out.
Yeah, you rush down to his side and get him up onto his feet. You hear him say something in a language you don't recognize, but in your head you hear "thank you."
Yeah, and she'll probably just, I don't know, maybe she'll carry him away. She'll like pick him up and like fireman carry him and like
Fireman, all right,
away.
the princess.
Yeah. No.
The princess card.
I thought about it, but
No, I know. Yeah, you pick him up. He says thank you, and then you hear "oh," and as he is not prepared to be carried away, but does not fight you. He lets it happen. Lydia.
Well, there's one wolf now, and
There's just one wolf.
I suspect he doesn't look pleased about having its prey taken.
No. You sure don't.
This is quite a chaotic sort of place.
Mhm.
Can I attempt to simply sort of unravel the wolf? I don't really just.
An entropy attack? Yeah. You have entropy and spirit, so
I have entropy and spirit, yes.
It will not be difficult for you to pull its threads apart. So that'll be 4 entropy and 3 spirit, all of your spheres together. So that'll be a difficulty. Entropy is eased here, so that's -1. Prime doesn't have a bonus or negative. So you're looking at 6, difficulty 6 with your 4 Arete dice.
Okay, can I spend a willpower on this?
You can. That's an automatic success.
1 success.
Yep.
Right, that is 3, 7, 7, 8. So 3 successes and
3 successes.
failure.
You will all see there's this moment where it is about to pad up after Cammy, and the moment it steps forward, its paw unravels. You can see it made of yarn, and it starts to just pull apart, and it yelps in pain, and instead of following Cammy, it rushes off. It kind of holds its leg up under itself and rushes off on 3 legs. And there's this trail of threading, almost like blood, that it carries with them like tendrils, almost like octopus tentacles, that we're glad that Roscoe isn't here to get flashbacks of. But the man thanks all of you. Same thing. You hear him say something in a language you don't understand, but in your minds, you hear him say thank you. The area shifts again. And this time, the lake is back. You're next to it. There's a small cabin. And you see him just kind of look down. He closes his eyes and kind of shakes his fist, and slowly you will see traditional kind of Wild West dressing come up, like the slacks, the boots, the shirt with the sleeves rolled up, the vest, but no cowboy hats. And he looks down at himself and he smiles, and he just kind of like flexes his fingers, almost like he's making sure he's still whole.
Don't worry. I won't do that to you unless you are a threat to us.
Your kind does not come here. Why have you come?
We seek something. We are visitors.
This is a dangerous land. What
What
are
we're
you seeking?
looking-
totem. It was hidden. That's why here of all places.
A
Can
totem.
you help us?
The only totem I know of is coyotes.
I think that would be the one.
That's not good. You see him go into the cabin, and he comes back with a fishing rod and puts bait on it and casts it into the water.
Are you going to explain?
He looks at you, he smiles. I thought, given the fact that you're not Guru, that you would have just accepted that and left.
We're actually working with the guru. We're working together to recover this item.
He drops the fishing rod in surprise. They willingly helped you.
Oh, yes.
Yes, they did.
You see the rod suddenly shoot into the water as a fish takes the bait and takes the rod with him. And he, oh. Okay. Why would the wolves help you? They don't help anyone.
We have a problem in the earthly realm that's impacting many of us and can harm all of us. So we have made an alliance to stop this.
It's been a long time since Coyote was forgotten about. Why now?
I can't answer from the perspective of the Garu, but in the interest of helping innocents, not just supernatural innocents, but mundane people in the area, we've decided to work together, and this is the path that we're on now, that we need to find this totem. That is our part of the plan.
You do not have an easy road.
It would be easier if you could give us some information.
It was easy. They wouldn't need to send us.
Oh, it could be easier. Sure. And he goes back inside. He comes out. He has a cowboy hat and he dusts it off and puts it on. And you see him. There's a moment where he winces, like he's fighting something, and then he shakes it off. All right. Which one of you is good at tracking? We will need to find the wolfhound.
If it's spirit tracking, I think several of us could give it. Are you all right? Do you need any kind of healing?
This place is a prison for those that aren't used to it. It enacts a heavy toll. I'll be fine.
What was that thing that was snapping at you and biting you?
It is the current representation of a creature. It is, unfortunately for me, the one that has taken a liking to how I taste. There are several here. You are in their home, but we can avoid them if you are smart. And there's a moment where you feel him, everybody with mind feels him kind of peeking into your minds. You can easily fight him off by spending a willpower point if you'd like to. He's not being invasive.
No.
You just kind of like,
Yes.
if he could knock, he would, but he's just like peeking in. That's what they're called now. Nexus crawlers. Do you know where you are?
We believe we are in a wild part of the Umbra, perhaps the middle Umbra.
The landscape changes again. The cabin is gone. Everything's become a desert. There's no lush life for miles, it seems. And he looks around. Wild is correct. This is the wild home. I think from what I gathered, some of you call this the flux. But this is the wild home. This is where the wild is strongest. You are not in the middle realm, my friends. You are in the shanty of the wild. And he dusts his legs, starts to walk. He's like, I hope you are prepared to go to the other shanties for the pieces that you are looking for.
We're prepared.
How many pieces?
There are 3 shanties, one for each member of the triad. The wild, the weaver, the worm.
Well, the beaver and the worm.
Which one's the most dangerous?
For your kind, all of them. But I would be more scared of the weaver's dystopia. Erebus won't be difficult for your kind. Just don't fall into the pools of molten silver.
I will try not to. These sound unpleasant.
But he stops and he looks back at you. Which one of you would like to lead us to the Wolfhound?
I can attempt. I really think any of us who have the ability to see in the spirit realm can give it a try, though Lydia, you might give us a little bit of luck on which way we should go.
Just close your eyes and spin around and just start walking, right? That's what I usually do. It usually works out.
It would be a perception and survival roll for Carissa.
I feel like, so can we all so Cammy doesn't have spirit.
Mhm.
However, she does have really good perception and survival. And
Yeah.
so would she be able to track it?
It would
Try
it would-
to anyway?
It would raise the difficulty for you since you're being fed information secondhand from Carissa. Even through the mind link, you're not actually seeing what
Yeah.
she's seeing. You're seeing how she interprets what she's seeing. But yeah, you can definitely roll instead.
I have 9 dice in that. With uncanny insight and old school wisdom. So
Yeah,
that might be the best.
Either one of them will help you. Your difficulty is going to be 7. And actually,
And mine is 6, correct?
yours would be 6, yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to eat up 3 paradox to raise your difficulty to 10 for Cammy.
I'm a spend of willpower, and you're really trying to make me not do anything, aren't you?
I want to eat up your paradox in the kindest way possible.
Appreciate
Pretty
it.
nice.
That dice
Pretty
is
nice.
gone.
I got 2 successes.
I could just blow them all on physical damage. But that'd be mean.
I spent a willpower then, so I do get 1.
Yeah, so you have 1 success.
And then Lydia's just going to watch the twins at work. They seem to have this under control.
I mean, Lydia could use entropy to nudge them if they start to deviate from where they should be going. If you want to try that.
That'd just be a simple...
That's a simple entropy roll.
a little luck.
Yeah. Be difficulty 4 for you. It's entropy 2.
A dice roll. One success.
That's good enough.
It's a terrible roll.
What did Cammy get? Just a 1 from the willpower?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would have succeeded otherwise, but it
Yeah.
didn't work.
Yeah. Paradox hurts.
Yeah.
Between all of you, you manage to find your way, and you see it. The desert shifts again as you're kind of traveling, following these tracks. And now there's this mountain range. The sun is gone. It's now the height of a crescent moon. There's a storm. You can hear thunder in the distance. You can see the clouds above you kind of lighting up every so often with lightning. And in this cave, the first thing you see is the green glowing eyes as they kind of glare and focus in on you coming up, and the wolf looks in bad shape. The unthreading has kind of spread to most of its form, and even though it has its paw back, it looks like it's labored in its breathing. If anybody has ever seen the Neverending Story, it's almost like when Atreyu comes up on Gomorrah. It just has this aura of death around it, and it focuses on your new friend.
Focuses in interest or
Yeah.
in hunger or anger? Okay.
Both.
Good.
All of the above.
Oh, all right. Okay.
But it labors to get up, and you can see that it shakes for a moment, and then its hind legs have to spread out a little bit more to hold itself up. And you see just its underbelly is all thread and yarn, and it's all just kind of coming apart. It's doing its best to kind of reforge itself. And it lets out a howl. The friend that you've made, his body shakes as the howl eats up the valley that you're in and just kind of echoes back and forth. And as he shakes, his form becomes fluid and he shrinks down until he is this emaciated and weakened looking coyote.
Our friend is now an emaciated from that howl, just
Yeah.
to be clear.
Yeah.
This is a long shot, but I have would a cult with a specialty in werewolves
Mhm.
help give any insight into what is happening here? Like, is his essence being sucked away and these wolves are the bad guys, or is it because he is misplaced here? Like, how can we help our friend?
Yeah.
We're loyal to our friend.
Roll. You met him 5 minutes ago, and you made him lose
He
his
didn't
fish.
try to kill us.
He
Do you
didn't.
not know
That's
this
true.
game? He did not try to kill us.
I mean,
You're right.
technically, the cloud didn't try and kill us either. Just gonna say.
Oof.
But he was going for my sister, so he can.
The cloud didn't go for me either.
He was turning to go for you.
Yeah.
So he's the enemy.
Intelligence and occult.
Intelligence and occult.
Now say it's difficulty 6,
Okay.
and your werewolf specialty will count for this.
Okay. Oh, so I do have a 10. So 1,
Nice.
2, 3, 4, and I get to re-roll this bad boy.
Yeah.
And another 10. Do I
Keep
just
going.
explode
Keep going.
forever?
Yeah.
Or I have 6.
Wow.
That's a 9. Okay, 6.
Okay. Yeah, it is very much it looks like there's some kind of spiritual attack that just went off. But it's strange because you didn't feel anything with your spirit sphere, and you don't know enough about the werewolf side of spirit lore to understand what kind of attack it is that would force this creature to take its breed form, as it were. But as it locks eyes on the coyote again, there is this unthreading coming apart that happens around his shoulder, and in his being, inside the miasma of what he is, you see what looks to be something wooden, something that looks almost like the same branch that Samuel was carrying. It has that same kind of leather wrapping around it, it kind of has that same feeling like that's important to their kind. And then the scenery changes again. The clouds stay dark. You can tell that it's daytime again, but it's just gray overcast. There is this thigh-high swamp that you're in, and it's kind of just found, it's created its own solid ground for itself. And it just kind of grins. And there is this alien language that filters into all of your minds. But even though you can't understand it, there is pure malevolence. And then there's chaos. There is the need for destruction, the hunger, endless hunger. And then there is only the image of the coyote bent and broken under its paw. We'll keep the same initiative just for simplicity's sake. So, Carissa, start us off. Right? No.
Yes, I had 16.
Yeah.
I would like to spirit heal our friend, who's now an emaciated coyote.
Okay.
Because he seems like he's in trouble. And I would like to spend a willpower, please.
Okay. Do you want to throw any quintessence at this?
Yes, I do. Thanks
Right.
for asking.
Yeah, you got 4 points. So how much would you like to use?
I'll use one.
1? Okay.
Yeah.
So you're trying to heal it, spirit 3. It's a 2+, so you're looking at 5. It turns into a 4 with your quintessence, and you've got 1 success already.
Okay. 1, 2 more. So 3 successes total.
3 successes. He starts to fill out a little bit, and he stands up, kind of scrambles up onto a small piece of island so that he doesn't get eaten up by the swamp. And he just kind of nods at you. And as he fills out a little bit more, the wooden fetish inside the wolf hound starts to glow, and more of him starts to unravel.
Let's keep this up. We're doing something right.
And Silas.
I'm going to continue using to healing. And, well, no, I can't because it's
No.
not.
It's not alive.
Yeah. Not sure what options I have here to help with them.
You have high prime, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do.
Prime and
You
Forces.
You can probably do some nasty stuff to that wolf and maybe unravel a bit more if our
Yeah.
lovely ST will allow it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could I expand the? Well, it looks like it's threadbare around where the little item is. Can I kind of try to rip it open a bit more?
Yeah. You could try to rip it open. You could try to pull on it with telekinesis. That's a simple.
Okay, I'll try
forces.
that.
Okay. So that's forces 3. It doesn't have a bonus or a subtraction, so it's going to be 5, difficulty 5.
If it meets, if it's a 5, does that count as
5 counts?
Okay.
Yep, 5 counts as success.
In that case, 3.
3. You pull on the thing, and now everybody can see it being pulled up out of the creature's open, gaping kind of wound. And as it's coming out, there are just threads and thick pieces of yarn that lash out and grab onto it. You see that it is struggling to hold onto it, so much so that it grows a second mouth and snaps it onto the base of this thing. And it's slowly, like you can see its head tilting and being pulled, trying to fight your telekinesis. But you've got enough successes that you can sustain that over the next few rounds if you want to, and turn it into a what's it called? Not prolonged, but a continual roll. I forgot the word for it, but
Extended roll?
extended roll. Thank you.
Okay.
So you can keep pulling it rather. After Silas, it's Cammy.
Yeah. So is any of it still visible?
Oh yeah, the whole thing is visible.
The wooden. Okay. Yeah. So what Cammy is going to do, she is going to slow time around her again. So she's quicker, and try and use entropy to see where, like, to time it correctly with like where things are at, or even like help unravel it a little bit more to make like full use of the opportunity. And she's gonna try and grab it.
Okay. So you want to speed yourself up with time and simultaneously do more entropic damage to it?
Not necessarily entropic damage, but more just like understanding like what the entropic damage is a little bit, and being able to take advantage of that to kind of make the grab more likely to happen.
Okay. So it's a simple time 3 effect to speed yourself up. So that's going to be 3 plus 3, 6 on your difficulty.
Okay. And so can I spend willpower for this? Okay. And then I'm also going to use a quintessence because you reminded me of that.
Yeah.
And fuck these
1
botches. Yeah.
Okay. So to lower your difficulty to 5.
Cool. 1 foot. Let's lower. That is 5 successes.
Nice. So with a effect like this, you can spread out your successes. So you can use them for duration and for effect. How would you like to spread your 5? 1 success will give you an extra round. 2 successes will give you an extra 3 rounds. 5 successes, all 5 successes will just give you the whole scene.
So
but each success will also give you 1 extra action. So
1 extra action with it. Yeah. So each success will give me 1 extra action if I go with the impact side, not the duration side, right? Okay. So I want to make sure I understood what you said.
Yeah. So you could spend all 5 to get 5 extra actions, and just have it last for that 1 turn, or you could use 3 for 3 extra actions and then 2 for it to last 3 turns. But you get less actions, but you get more turns with them. So
we'll do it that way. The 3 and 3 for impact, 2 for duration.
Okay. So 3 rounds of 3 extra actions every round.
Yeah. And so I'm guessing she has it at this point, or is she?
Yeah. So your extra actions will kick in at the end of the round once everybody goes.
Okay.
So you'll have your main action on your initiative, and then your extra actions will be at the end of the initiative order.
Okay. So
Okay.
I guess Lydia then.
Yeah. Miss Lydia, what are you going to do?
So we are standing in a swamp, but the creature has made land for itself. Correct?
Yeah.
Can I cause the land that is standing on to decay and sink back into the swamp?
Oh.
Bringing it down into the swamp?
Yeah. Normally that would be a matter effect,
Yes.
but you have enough entropy to actually pull. It's a harder roll because you're using a larger sphere to do what would be a simple sphere's effect. But you also have correspondence, so you could force the mass to dissipate is the word I was looking for. So it's going to be entropy 4. You get a -1 to your difficulty because of entropy. You get a +1 to the difficulty because of correspondence. So they cancel each other out. So it's going to be difficulty 6. So 6 or higher.
Go anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to put any willpower in this, and I don't know how quintessence works yet, so I don't want to touch that.
So quintessence, every point of quintessence you use lowers your difficulty on your casting on magic effects by 1. And willpower gives you just an automatic success.
Okay, so could I use a quintessence to lower?
Yeah.
Could I do
Yeah,
that?
so it'll be difficulty 5 for you.
Okay. Well, that's 2 successes. That was a very, very lucky lowering of that, because those 2 successes are both 5.
Yeah.
No successes otherwise.
Given the fact that we've seen Lydia already affect the world around her with her entropy, there's an understanding that she knows how to effectively use her sphere. And so the 2 successes doesn't seem like much at first until everybody sees the back portion of this landmass start to crumble and slip into the swamp. And what had already been a weakened set of joints in the back now have fallen into the swampland. And there's a moment where you see it struggling. It starts to claw at the little bit of landmass that it's still created for itself. It's sinking into the swampland, though, almost like Artax when Atreyu has to try to save him. But there's no desire to save this creature to any of you. And as it's sinking, that last little bit of pull is enough that its jaw comes unhinged and the fetish comes flying over to Silas. Cammy, you've got your 3 extra actions. What do you want to do to this thing? It's weakened, it's immobile.
I guess she'll also just entropy it, thing itself again. Like Lydia's been doing, seeing that's been effective. And yeah.
I mean, you do have a strength and brawl of 8. You could just go and punch it in the face. Like I said, just because you can use the force doesn't mean you need to use it to wipe your bottom. You could reach back
do
there.
that. You're right. That's more dice.
Yeah.
I'll do that then.
Yeah, and you've got your specialty, so that counts.
Right.
And it's a lot easier to punch something
When it's stuck in mud and
so your
slowly
difficulty's gonna be
dying.
5. Well,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
you gotta cast fist sometimes, you know?
Wow, what's that one?
That's a lot of dice.
Yeah, so I had rolled 3 successes, but I also got 3 ones, but one was a 10. So I was able to get exploding. So I ended up with 1 success by the end of it.
Okay. It's not going to fight you, so your damage gets through, and you see the second you punch it, its extra mouth dissolves into just extra thread and yarn coming out of its face. And again, you hear it say something in this ancient language that is just full of malevolence and hate. And you see its true form. Well, one of its true forms. It is just this long, like, millipede of spiritual energy, and there is no front or back to it. It just kind of has this worm-like features, and it wriggles its way through the cosmos, and everything it touches changes for good or bad. It doesn't care. And then there's a moment where there's a bright flash of light from Earth, and you see the 2 totems being shattered, and one of them shoots forward, hits it, and comes dragging it to where you are now, to the wild home. And the first thing it sees is the coyote. And although the coyote came to try and find its own totem, it found this angered Nexus Crawler instead. And as you take the next 2 extra actions to punch it again and again, it just becomes this pool of thread and yarn at your feet. And the swamp vanishes and pulls you back in this kind of full moon clearing in the forest. From the waist down, you still have that swamp residue, but the wolfhound is now just this pile of thread and yarn, and the 2 green glowing eyes lose their luminescence and just become like these little jade orbs, and they just roll out to either side of your feet.
The temptation to take one of the orbs, I'll be honest.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Do not touch them.
It's a trophy.
I imagine Cammy like goes to touch it and Chris's like slaps her hand.
That is correct. That is an accurate assessment.
100%.
Storyteller, is there anything about the orbs that has any sustained spiritual life? Like, do we need to like hit it again, or have
Actually,
they just become... Yes?
they radiate entropy more than anything.
Oh, these are not nice. Do not touch them. In fact, if you 2 would like to finish the decay and unraveling, I think that would be wise.
I get to have a closer look at one of these orbs.
Good.
Like, is it something that needs to be destroyed? Well, what is it? Is it that dangerous, really?
Lydia.
You can make
Lydia.
You can make an intelligence and occult roll if you like.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can we use them as wonders?
Intelligence.
They might be.
They have dice.
Yeah. And they'll be, because you are an entropy focused mage, I'll make your difficulty 5.
Here's 1, 2 successes. 2.
2 successes.
2
The-
out of
the-
6. Yes.
The way that they're radiating entropy, you imagine that one of them by itself is not terrible. It would help you almost like a focus for entropy, because this is a creature of pure chaos, honestly. The two together would probably be equivalent to a wonder. They would have some of the remnant of this Nexus Crawler bound to them. So you can imagine that it would help whenever anything chaotic is brought forth.
If you insist on doing this, they are going to travel back separated, and I'm not touching either of them.
Yeah,
And I advise against it.
Cammy will hold Carissa back and like gesture to Lydia to like, go get it, I got her.
A little chaos could be useful.
What?
We don't know what else is waiting for us out there, and you know,
She seems like she can handle herself with it.
what's the worst?
I'm not your mom, but I am your friend. And I said what I need to say, which is I would advise against it. But if you're going to do it, separate them for travel. You can do whatever you want when I'm not here.
I would like to reach down and pick one of them up.
Okay.
And
It resonates with you.
put it in my pocket.
Okay.
So I'd like to look at the other one.
Now, it almost has this feeling, and it's inanimate, so you don't know how you're picking it up. But it has this sensation like it wants to be paired with the other one. Like there's a longing the more you stare at it.
I can sense this through the mind link, right? She's like, they want to be together.
You gotta do
Lydia?
it. You
Yeah.
know,
You gotta do it.
We
you can't keep them apart.
Tammy,
Yeah.
we have one thing that we are here to do, and that is our number one focus. This little side project, separate them for travel, and we are staying on the path.
I mean, look how helpful
turn to-
entropy was in doing this. If this helps her entropy, that would help the mission.
Cammy,
What does our friend think?
Cammy, one of the paradox points vanishes as a voice slithers into the back of your head that you know is not being shared with the group, but you just hear the eyes count almost like sisters. You two are twins. The eyes are twins.
Seems to be helpful so far. Might as well let her. She's already touched one. She's fine.
Well, if I can't have both of them, who's taking the second one?
I mean, I could take it, but I don't think Carissa would let me.
I can just repeat again that I think this is a very, very bad idea. It is coming as a trophy. It is the remnants of something very, very bad.
Tammy's gonna pick it up.
Look,
Tammy,
And if she's able to, I don't know if what the effects are when she picks it up, but she can like wave it around like she's gonna touch Carissa with it.
oh no, she will stay away from it. She will stay away from it. Y'all are dumb.
Cammy and Lydia, while you were in possession of this Nexus Crawler Eye, all your entropy effects are reduced by 1. But the coyote looks at the fetish piece in Silas's hands as he takes his human form again. Same thing, cowboy clothes, cowboy hat, and in your ears you hear his Native American language. In your minds you hear his actual English voice. You have found the first piece of the totem. This is good. I didn't think you would survive against the wolf.
We managed this one.
Yes.
It seems we don't die here.
Which one of you is skilled in Umbro travel? I will need help to open the gate to the next piece.
I have never traveled.
I have never traveled these parts, no.
Is it just a question of spirit, or is it something different?
What does it take to be skilled in umbral travel?
One of your kind could do it with spirit. There is, given what I've learned from you, the combination of correspondence as well. But I can help facilitate the bridge. I can only take you if there is someone else that can navigate the pathway.
I can try. It's not something that
He holds out his hand to you.
I am best at, but I have traveled. I can travel. It's not my favorite thing, this sort of thing.
I thought that your kind would be more sure of themselves. This is refreshing.
Well, spirit's not exactly my...
He holds out one hand to you, he holds out another hand out to the group, and he's like, hold hands so no one is left behind.
Cammy keeps the eye in her hand sneakily when she grabs onto Clarissa's hand, so she touches her with it.
Excellent. It feels slimy. It feels like an actual eyeball, even though it is hard like stone.
Yeah, I mean, it's bones and remains. It's basically what it is. It's remains. It's one of my instruments anyway.
Yeah, there you go.
This is to keep random body parts.
You hear him start to chant. And at first it's under his breath. There's this rhythm that he starts to build up. And then it becomes loud. And as he says it with more and more of his chest, you see he starts to fill out a little bit more. Some of the light from the fetish that you took is diminished, but it's trickled into him. And there's a moment where you feel that same pull that you felt the moment you stepped through the Stargate, and you're whisked back through the Umbra, back through the astral, the Avatar storm, the astral sea. And there's a moment where you come crashing through what looks to be this building under construction. There's plaster, kind of dust all over you, and you see this large monstrosity, this kind of 8 foot wide and 4 feet tall, very pointed legged spider with this thread that's coming out of its abdomen and into the building itself. And it moves its little pincers, confused for a moment. Beyond it, the broken window leads out to this cityscape, this broken and shattered city. And on all the buildings, you see this webbing. It's almost natural looking as it stretches between building to building, but once it touches a building, it becomes its enforcement, it becomes its foundation, it becomes the gridiron that holds up the floors. And as it sits there confused, it locks eyes on your coyote friend, and its pincers shoot up, its maw opens, and it screeches. And you hear the thudding of legs rushing up the side of this building. And that's what we're going to call it for tonight. So I want to thank you guys for participating in this. And I'm going to summon the disembodied voice of Shanky McStabber to take us out.
Nope, there's no Shanky here, only Zool.
Only Zool.
Only Zool. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you to the cast of this, of course, because, hey, guess what? It's all right. It's all good. It's all fun, right? Let me fix something here. Please, everybody, join us on our Discord. The cast of this comes from the Discord, just like all of our shows. And, hey, if you're on the Discord, you might get a chance to play with us. Who knows? We do Zoom Hangouts when we can. It's kind of rough when you have Friday night and Saturday night streams going on. So I'm sure we'll get to them eventually. Maybe, kind of, sort of, hopefully. If you want to catch back episodes of the, World of Darkness, Queen's Gambit, all the World of Darkness stuff we have, plus our independent stuff, you can go to our YouTube channel. If you want to see Lydia here, back episodes of D&D 5e or Call of Cthulhu, you pop over to Ishvel. Yes, I know I still need to update that channel name. I haven't yet, but I'll try to remember it. But pop over there.
About 3 years.
I'll get it updated, maybe, eventually, probably. But you can catch all her stuff over there. She's our amazing British GM, Dr. Tess, as we call her, because she's actually a doctor, so it's okay. Not a medical doctor, but she's got a doctorate. So she's Dr. Tess. We say it all the time. If you want to see some amazing content creators, check out our friends over there. I know Astral's on it for us. Check out our friends list. One of them right there in the center. Ravnos Archon, what you got going on?
Oh, hi, everybody. I do TTRPG stuff over here on my own channel here on Twitch. I'm currently doing a Old Gods of Appalachia miniseries to try to get back into things. It's been rough year for some of us, and it's gotten rougher recently with the bullshit. But otherwise, you can catch me here on Wednesdays where I get to play only the most lovable of characters with no darkness to them and running mage whenever they let me. So,
yep. And Mischievous Red, what you got going on? That's Cammy over there.
Hi, yeah, I stream on my own channel sometimes, maybe. And I've been doing mini painting lately, and that's typically on Sundays when I do. But if you're on the Discord, you can see when I go live.
Yep. Another reason to be on Discord, you can find out when her or Ravenous Archon go live. You can also check out Junie Von Esch. She is our werewolf storyteller. She does our Chicago Hidden City game. She streams to her own channel as well. Normally, she does knitting or crochet. And crafts, so you can check her out over there. And of course, there's re-rolls. He streams Call of Cthulhu on Sundays. I think he's on break right now, and he's got a mage game on Tuesdays. Crochet. There you go. See, I've been corrected. That's fine. I don't do that kind of art stuff, so I don't know. If you want to get some studio merch, go to our merch store. Make sure you sign in, because otherwise you won't get to see the R-rated stuff like Camp Counselor t-shirt for Camp Wish a Motherfucker Would. Because everyone around here, wish a motherfucker would. Fuck around and find out, right? Man, my brain just broke. Give me a second. Oh, yeah. If you want to give something to the players, bits and donations, everybody, that go to the players, not to the studio. It's a way to give something to the players. If you want to support the studio, you can pop over to KoFi. You can subscribe here on Twitch. Hey, they take half the money from it, but you get no ads, and that's fucking great on Twitch. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, hey, like the video, comment on video, subscribe to the channel. Guess what? All of that is free, and it supports the channel. So, nice way to do that. Now, let me go through our schedule this week. Hey, did you get enough of Lydia and Silas today? If not, tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, Call of Cthulhu. They'll be right back playing it. So you can get even more Lydia and Silas and have fun with that one. Maybe we can get them killed. Maybe we can't. We'll see. I know people get shot in the head from a fumble roll. I mean, it happens. It's Call of Cthulhu. They read the wrong books. They go insane. People got to shoot each other. I totally understand it. And then at 8 p.m. Eastern, guess what? Chicago Hidden City with Junie Von Esch. You get to see, it was during Peterson's rule. Now Peterson is out and Jackson is in. So you get to see Chicago from Junie's and her cast point of view rather than the Shankyverse. So check that out over there. And then, of course, Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, Demon the Fallen. Hey, last week they talked to Usul, the Reaper of Souls, and Lucifer, the Morning Star. I think we've covered the important people they get to talk to for a couple episodes. Let's let them now get into other shit, okay? I think I brought enough tears to people's eyes, named Ravenous Archon. So, it's all good. And now, everybody, as we always in these streams, oh, by the way, we'll be back next Friday for the next part of Mage. Okay, I almost missed that. So,
Thank you.
I'm pretty sure people know. I'm not doing Twitter anymore because fuck Elon Musk. But hey, if you're in the community and you're watching now, hey, if you're on a Discord, you know when we go in live, so you'll be good to go. So as we end these streams every time, please, everybody, mental health, it's not a joke. It's not a laughing matter. I want you to take your mental health seriously, and I want you to take the mental health of others seriously. Please check in on those around you. Make sure they're okay. A lot of times all it takes is a lifeline, a friendly voice to help somebody off the edge they're on or get them out of a crisis. And if you suffer from mental health issues like many of us do, first of all, it's okay to not be okay. But I want you to reach out to your support network. And if you don't have one, or you don't feel comfortable talking with them, in chat's a list of numbers. You can call or text 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There'll be a professional on the other end of that line, and they'll help you out. And if you're not in the U.S. or you're watching this on YouTube, go to findthehelpline.com, put in your country of origin, and get the help networks for your country. Because look, mental health is health. I want you to be okay. And while it's okay to not be okay, we want you to get better. Okay? I know there's a lot of okays in there. I'm trying. Okay? See? Did another one. And finally, Mama's not here, so I'm going to tell you, get your damn shots, get your vaccines, get all that shit updated. Look, we don't need a return of fucking polio. We don't need a return of all the other silly shit that's going on, please. And as Mama puts there, look, this channel is not a very welcome place for people who abstained, voted for third parties, or voted for the current president-elect. See yourself out, because Trump is going after people that I care about right now. He's already announced one of his very first policies is going to be anti-trans. And as the parent of a trans child, I'm not happy with that. So please, America done fucked up. That's all I got to say. We done fucked up. But I do thank you all for coming, and hopefully see you for Call of Cthulhu tomorrow. Good night, everybody.